Hey everyone, it's Kino here. Thanks for tuning in to this 1-month beginner yoga challenge. Today we're working on a deep spinal twist. Bring your hands together and claim the sacred space of the practice. Inhale. Clear your mind. Tune into the inner body and claim a sense of deep peace. Drop your hands down to the knees. The spinal twist we'll be moving into is Ardha Matsyendrasana. The English translation of that complicated Sanskrit phrase is Lord of the Half-Fishes pose. As we enter the inner body, dive down into the deep space of the emptiness of the pelvis. Suck the low belly in, draw the sitting bones towards each other. From the belly button down to the pubic bone, keep it in. From the right iliac crest to the left, keep it in. Hollow out the pelvis, maintaining a deep and inner state of emptiness. And then, employing that deep resonant breath with sound, let your lips be sealed and the sound sa as you inhale, ha as you exhale to initiate the inner journey. Then layer the right knee over the left, aligning the knees forward. Hold on to your feet and point the feet, stacking the knees right on top of each other. Hands rest right on top of the knee, and we'll hold this for 5 breaths. 1, gaze down at the hands. 2, enter the inner body. 3, feel the emptiness behind the pubic bone. 4 and 5. Lift the ribs away from the hips. Bring your right hand behind and just easy looking over to the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to the center. Stack the hands. And now raise your right arm, raising the left, gazing at the thumbs. As you lift the arms and send the elbows forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring it back down. Hands to the knees. Pause, drawing the belly in for a moment. And then we'll switch the sides. Bring the left leg on top, stacking it over. Point your feet. Glide it in for a moment. Left hand on top. 1, 2, gazing down at the hands, maintaining a space of inner peace and inner awareness. 3, 4, and 5. Bring your left hand behind you. An easy spinal twist over to the left side. 1, 2, 3. Draw the belly in. Hollow out the pelvic bowl. 4 and 5. Back to the center. Hold it here for a moment. And then left hand up. Right hand wraps around. Gaze at the thumbs. Lifting the arms and wrapping the elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Drop it back down. Rest here for a moment. Find an inner space of peace and equanimity. And then take the legs over to the side, bringing yourself all the way over to the hands and knees plank. Hold it here for a moment. Stabilize the shoulders. Big push up with the shoulders. Hold it for a moment. 2, 3, 4. Walk it forward. And let's rest back to the puppy pose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And glide your hands back. And let's press all the way back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths in down dog. 1, 2, nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. 3, find the space deep in the emptiness of the pelvis. So the posture we're building up to is a deep spinal twist. Claim the inner space of the body as your gateway to this pose. 4 and 5. Switching the gaze forward. Step, step forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. We're going to move into Utkatasana for 5 breaths. Inhale, lift your chest up. Take your hands to prayer, knees together. 1, feel the legs. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then straighten the arms. Inhale, arms straighten. If it's too intense to keep the hands together, you can let them open a little, but try to press the palms. 1, sink into the hips. 2, 3, 4, hands in prayer. Exhale, fold forward, straighten the legs, come down, suck the belly in. We're going to bend the knees one more time. Gently sink the knees forward. Inhale, hands in prayer. This time, let's lift the ribs and slide over to the left side. Looking over the left. 1. Should feel your quads really burning. 2, 3, 4. Back to the center. Over to the right side. 1, 2. Squeeze the knees. 3, 4. Back to the center. Ooh, your quads should be burning. Shoulders forward. Plank position from plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Let's hold downward facing for a couple breaths. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's go for the twisted dog. Bend the right knee. Twist it out from the hips, controlling that with the pelvic bowl. 3, 4, and 5. Back to the center. Drop the left knee forward. Glide through the emptiness of the pelvis. 2, 3, 4, and back to the center. All right, let's take the knees down. Back to the puppy pose for a moment. All the way back to child's pose. Complete rest. Nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Then gently glide it forward a little bit. Inhale, exhale, thread the needle of the arm through. Hold it for a couple breaths. 1, 2. You can take the hands in prayer if you like, but no stress. 3, 4, and back to the center. Glide it forward and thread the left arm through. 2, 3. Hands in prayer if you want. 4, and 5. Stretch the right arm forward. Back to the puppy pose for a moment. All the way back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale, step the right foot forward, settling the left knee down. Inhale, come on up. And we're reviewing Parsvakonasana B, the twisting version of extended side angle. Suck the belly in, hug your knee to your chest. Glide the torso over to the right side, settling your left hand down. Pick the ribs up and move them all the way over. Inhale, reach the right arm up. We'll hold it here for a couple breaths. 2, 3, 4. Extending the arm if you can. And if you can extend the arm, gaze towards the right fingers. 3, 4. Slide your right hand down. All the way back to the center. Back to plank. Plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, down. Okay, left side. Left one forward, right knee down. Inhale, come on up. Hold it there for a moment, and then hug the knee into your chest. Start to glide the hand over. Remember, you can grab a block, place your hand on a block if you can't reach the ground, but with patience, you'll be able to glide your way down, fingertips or hand on the ground. Then inhale, lift the arm up. You can choose to stay here, or you can bring it over. If you can bring it over, you could gaze at the fingers. Now the next level of this posture is to take the back leg off the ground. Don't hurry. If you feel any pressure in your elbow as it's reaching down, roll it forward, grip your fingertips a little, and eventually you'll be able to get that back leg off the ground. Stay for a couple breaths, gaze at the fingers, and exhale down, drop the shoulder, pick it back to the center, square the shoulders, exhale plank, continue the exhale chaturanga, inhale upward facing, exhale downward facing. Stabilize in downward facing, calm the mind. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And switch the gaze forward, press from the shoulders, step, step. If you can sit and all the way through with your feet and exhale down. Slide the hands back, Dandasana position for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're ready to begin our journey into Ardha Matsyendrasana. Bend your knees, bringing them in. Then hold the left foot and glide it under. Then check to make sure that the left knee is aligned forward. Drop the right foot on the other side so that the knees hug the center line of your body. Step number 1 of this pose is to make sure you're comfortable here with both sitting bones pressed onto the ground. If this is challenging, don't try the twist yet. The next stage is to bring the torso close to the thigh, so give yourself a little hug. 2, 3, 4. Begin to root down with your right leg, drawing back with the right hip. Maintain emptiness in the pelvic bowl. And then inhale, lift the chest a little, glide to the right. Lift the chest a little, glide to the right. Take your right hand back behind you. Slide your left shoulder forward. And then hands in prayer. Hands in prayer is the easiest version, so check out yourself here. If it's accessible to you, place your hand back on the ground, push yourself a little forward, hold on to your foot. Avoid holding onto the knee, but instead hold the foot. Then, looking over to the right, hold here with a space in the pelvic bowl. If you have a little bit of space and support, lift your hand off the ground and glide your hand towards your hip. And we'll just hold that here for a couple breaths. Don't overpower it with your arms. 2, don't be surprised if you can't reach your thigh right away. That takes about 10, maybe 15 years of practice, so no stress. And slowly release. Bring yourself back to the hug. Slide the hands back. Cross the legs out in front of you. And remember, if you're feeling fatigued, just put them underneath. But then the hands forward. Inhale, lift the hips, step, step. All the way back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, come forward to upward facing. And exhale down. Okay, here we go. Walk your feet forward, glide, glide. And you can sit down, or if you can press up a little, glide those feet all the way through. Exhale down. Slide the hands back, collect yourself in Dandasana for a moment. And now we're ready to begin. Draw the belly in and give a little tuck under, just a hair of a tuck, not all the way under, but just a little bit with the pelvic bowl. Then bending the knees, glide your right foot underneath, point the right foot. Don't pull it too far and don't not pull it far enough. So find that place right in the middle. All right. Then stack the left foot on top. Now don't pull the left foot super far back or you could torque the knee. You want to have the toes pointing forward of the knee. Then step number 1, just give yourself a little hug. If this feels challenging, stay here. But if you feel you can take it a little deeper, begin to thrust into the base of your left big toe. Draw the belly in and then glide your torso over to the left. Glide the torso over to the left. Drop the right shoulder, bringing the armpit as close to the thigh as you can. Hands in prayer. 2, 3, look over the left shoulder. 4, and 5. Place your fingertips on the ground behind you. Press up a little bit and then guide forward as you reach down, wrapping your hand around your foot. Check yourself out here and see if you feel good. If you feel good, then let's take it up, lifting your arm, but feel no pressure to reach around with your hand. 1, 2, don't feel any pressure to do that too quickly or too soon. Feel the inner body, feel the emptiness in the pelvis, feel the inner body. Regardless of what's happening around you, that place of inner calm is always there. After a few breaths, let's come on back, placing your hands down. Draw the belly deeper in and then come on back to the center. Hold yourself in. You should feel some very intensive movements through the strength of the back, but make sure your spine is totally safe. Never any pinching sensations in the spine, in the corners of the shoulders, or any of the joints of the body. Bring yourself back to the center, cross the feet, lift the hips as you inhale, step, step, all the way back to plank pose. Hold plank for a moment, inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, come forward to upward facing, nice deep breath. Exhale, downward facing. Rest in downward facing for a moment, keeping emptiness deep in the pelvic bowl, deep in that inner space. Then switching the gaze forward, walk forward and let's come to a squatted position. Open the knees and your hands in prayer. Let's stay here for 5 breaths. We're going to review this pose called Bakhasana position. Bakhasana, the crane pose. Powerful arm balance, extremely useful after those deep twists just to bring you back into the center line. Stabilize the shoulders. 2, 3, maintain a calm and inner focus. 4, and 5, bring the hands down, wrap the elbows in, place the knees right into the armpits, moving the shoulders forward. Inhale, lift your left foot, check it out, place it down. Inhale, lift the right foot, check it out, place it down. Move the shoulders forward, big push up, little lift, little fly, big fly. Hold as much as you can. If you're up, maybe you can jump back, but if you don't feel comfortable, just touch the toes down, but believe you can do it. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way down. Oh, just rest down there for a moment, point your toes. Let's take it nice and easy. Press up into the elbows for the Sphinx pose. Lift your kneecaps and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hands back behind you. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Now from downward facing today, We're gonna try a half inversion. So put your knees down, elbows down, interlock your fingers. After you interlock the fingers, look down. You should see an equilateral triangle between your hands and your elbows. Hold the elbows for a moment. Interlock the fingers. Exhale, place the very flat top part of the head down. Stand the legs up. We're gonna stay here for 5 breaths and that's it. 1, 2, 3. Big push with the shoulders. Do not collapse the neck. 4 and 5. Nice and easy. Place the knees down. Child's pose. 5 more breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Gently come up. Cross your feet underneath you. Slide them forward. And slowly exhale, bringing yourself all the way down. Pause for a moment. And let's just really release the hips. Feel the hips slide over to the left side. Slide your knees over to the right. And again, slide it over to the left and slide it over to the right. Back to the center. Knees together. Legs straight. Give a little rock from side to side with your neck. Big inhale and exhale. Just let everything go. One more time, like a big sigh. Inhale and exhale. Everything go. One more time, big inhale and exhale. And gently move your fingers and toes. Bend your knees and your elbows. Pull the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Roll over onto your side. And come on back up to a comfortable seated pose. When you practice this deep spinal twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana, Lord of the Half Fishes pose, you're moving into the inner depths. Matsyendranath, the Siddha, the saint that this pose is named after, is a legend in traditional yoga philosophy who is said to have descended into the belly of a fish for 12 years as he overheard sacred teachings, and he emerged after 12 years from the belly of the fish as a great and accomplished yogi. So give yourself at least that much time before you begin to judge your progress on the path of yoga. Bring your hands together and inhale. Thank you so much for letting me be your guide on the inner tradition of yoga. Keep the inspiration to practice, keep faith and belief in yourself, and never give up. Tune in tomorrow to continue your practice journey this month. Namaste.